Hi everyone, welcome to All Exam Psychology. This is your educator Mrinalini for UGC NET exams. I hope you all are doing well and amazing. Now, in today's session, we are going to be reviewing the question paper of PDCP, which is Professional Diploma in Clinical Psychology. The entire exam, which was conducted by Swami Rama Himalayan University. This is basically on day one that the exam was conducted. I have already done discussion and also a review of the examination in my previous video, so you can find the link under video section and you can go watch it if you would like to. And with this, we are going to get started with our session for today. Hello and welcome. I hope you all are doing great. Start karte hain with our session for today. Now, this exam was actually conducted on 28th of May, and this is going to be a very helpful session for all the people जो कि शायद देहरादून से आते हैं या nearby cities से आते हैं, who are keenly interested in pursuing their passion into the psychology and becoming an associate clinical psychologist or get a license in India to be as a clinical psychologist. So let's get started with our session for today. Now, first things first, before proceeding further, I just want to request you, in case अगर आप कोई भी ऐसे एस्पिरेंट हैं जो किसी एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं और चाहते हैं कि मैं और सच ऑफ रिव्यूज लेके आती रहूं ऑन दिस चैनल, सो मेक श्योर दैट यू डू सब्सक्राइब टू इट. एंड देर आर ऑल्सो लाइव क्लासेज विच हैपन्स डेली. 5 बजे और 9 बजे आपकी क्लासेज होती हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, देर आर फ्री UGC NET classes which are taking place on this channel itself daily 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. You get a free access of the PDF also, and there is also a discussion page which you need to join, तभी जाके आपको free PDF का access मिल सकता है. Start करेंगे with the exam as such. Now, this exam comprised of 50 MCQs. अब ये सारे 50 MCQs जो हैं उन सबको हम एक साथ प्रैक्टिस करेंगे और एक बार रिव्यू करेंगे what kind of question paper entirely it was. तो start करते हैं with the question number 1. All of the following statements about children who have pervasive developmental disorder are true except for what. मतलब आपको बताना है कि false क्या है इसके अंदर. Now the point is pervasive developmental disorder के बारे में या कोई भी developmental जो disorders होते हैं उनके बारे में कुछ चीज़ें ये होती हैं कि that they have an early onset. So अर्ली ऑनसेट होता है उनका 18 साल से पहले. दे गेट डायग्नोस्ड एंड इन केस इफ दे आर गेटिंग डायग्नोस्ड, देर आर इंटरवेंशंस एंड मैनेजमेंट प्रोग्राम्स फॉर सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ डेवलपमेंटल प्रॉब्लम्स. नाउ द पॉइंट इज, यहाँ पे आपको एक्सेप्शन पूछा गया है. दे डू नॉट रिकवर बाय द एज ऑफ 18. दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू शुड नो. 18 साल से पहले तो वो रिकवर नहीं होते, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. ठीक है, मूविंग फॉरवर्ड विद द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन दे आर आस्किंग यू, तो MMPI-2 इज प्राइमरली यूज्ड टू असेस व्हाट. MMPI इज अ नॉन प्रोजेक्टिव scale which assesses your personality structure and your psychopathology. Option number B is correct here. In case you don't know what is the full form of this, then it is Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory. So this you should know if you are passed of your MA exams, so you should know this. ठीक है. All right, moving forward with the next question. So moving forward, we have the same question repeated anyway. Question number 3. In Gordon Alport's taxonomy of traits, some individuals develop a trait that is experienced as a ruling passion. अब देखो यहाँ पे कीवर्ड मेंशन है ruling passion और Gordon Alport के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है. So the correct answer should be your cardinal trait here. Now, cardinal trait is something which dominates your entire personality. Dominates the whole of personality. So let's just say if I talk about Mother Teresa or Hitler or Gandhi, anybody for that matter of fact, or even PM Modi, so you get to understand what kind of a person they are. ठीक है, आपको समझ आ जाता है. So the thing is, this is a keyword through which you can get to know what exactly are they asking. Next question, which among the following is not the deficiency need in Maslow's model? The correct answer should be self-actualization. Oopsie. I am really sorry. So here the correct answer is to be option number A, which is rest. Rest is going to be the correct answer. इनसे पूछा ये जा रहा है कि कौन सा पार्ट नहीं है आपके मैस्लो के मॉडल का. सिक्योरिटी इज देयर, सेल्फ एस्टीम इज देयर, and self-actualization, which is high, the maximum potential in a person is there. Moving forward, the next question, which are among the following, is not a continuous variable. So when we talk about the continuous variable, it is something which has a recurring number which can also have a decimal number too. तो मतलब जो चलता रहता है basically, ठीक है. सो इनमें से कौन सा नहीं है ये पूछा जा रहा है. द करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी ऑप्शन नंबर डी. नंबर ऑफ फैमिली मेंबर्स कैन बी होल नंबर. दे आर होल एंड फिक्स्ड numbers. They can never be 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. They can never be like that. But whereas age, pressure, time and everything is concerned, they are continuous variables. Moving forward with the next question, Carl Rogers emphasized the importance of unconditional positive regard. That is going to be the correct answer, because Carl Rogers is basically a humanist, and he has certainly talked about how support and emotional support is really important in people's life. And also unconditional positive regard is all about giving a zone of positive environment without any judgment, without any what do we say, discrimination. So everybody is equal and same. Moving forward with the next question, a person who is emotionally stable, calm and relaxed is likely to be low in. So correct answer should be neuroticism. Now the people who are high in neuroticism, they are highly anxious. They are of their there is no emotional stability in them. They are very unemotionally available people. They also go through major trust issues and all of that. So this is something which is there. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now 16 personality factor किस चीज को measure करता है? The correct answer here is your 8 source traits and 8 surface traits. Source and surface are basically something, source निकल के आता है आपके root से, मतलब जो आपके internal root traits हैं. Surface is something which is observable in nature, जो कि आप देख सकते हो. अब जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई से दैट देयर इज अ पर्सन हु इज वेरी पंक्चुअल, तो यू गेट टू अंडरस्टैंड इट थ्रू देयर वर्क एथिक्स, राइट. पंक्चुअलिटी दिख जाती है. रूट सोर्स के अंदर हम ये देख सकते हैं कि अगर कोई इंसान हेल्पफुल है, सो नॉट एवरीबडी helpful can be seen or observable, right. If they do something, a good deed, तो वो तो वैसे भी करेंगे obviously. आगे बढ़ते हैं. According to the Mental Health Care Act, what does the term advance directive refer to? Now, advance directive is something of a guideline which a mental health professional uses as for treatment basically, but it is also one of the directive जिसमें सब कुछ written होता है, सारे decisions वगैरह, सारे care taking decisions, और कोई भी मतलब specified treatment जो है वो अलग से दिया होता है. तो it is a advanced level of treatment which is given the intervention and everything. आगे बढ़ेंगे. Psychological theory which is closely associated with the Zeigarnik effect. In case you don't know, Zeigarnik effect is given by Bluma Zeigarnik, which was a Russian psychologist, and the Zeigarnik effect talks about the fact that we tend to remember unfinished tasks more often than finished tasks. तो मतलब जो भी हमारे अधूरे टास्क होते हैं वो हम ज्यादा याद रखते हैं rather than finished task. Let me write this down. So it's basically the approach which is under the Gestalt psychology, option number A. Why Gestalt psychology? Gestalt psychology actually sees everything as whole. गेस्टॉल्ट जो शब्द है उसका मतलब ये क्या है? होल होना, संपूर्ण होना कोई भी चीज. आगे बढ़ेंगे. Eysenck's theory of personality includes two main dimensions. So the two main dimensions are extroversion and neuroticism. These are the two main dimensions which are present in EPQ. Next question. The defense mechanism where a person attributes their unacceptable thoughts to the other is called projection. So हम usually अपनी feelings जो भी unacceptable होती हैं दूसरों के ऊपर थोप देते हैं, डाल देते हैं, तो उसको ही हम projection कहते हैं. A major criticism of projective personality test is that they lack objectivity and standardized scoring. The major problem lies here only. We cannot actually go ahead with the projective personality test because firstly they are not objective, secondly they do not have a standardized scoring. Everything is very subjective. They can be self-administered too, but even when it comes for the administration, it's a bit trickier and a more complex task. You get to need the hang of it for a certain time period. So, and it also does not give you accurate results, also very subjective results. Moving forward, question number 14, they're asking you which of the following best describes the phenomenon of neural plasticity. Now, neural plasticity has to do with the fact that your brain actually reorganizes itself. The neurons, it reorganizes itself and it forms newer connection. So let's just say if you are into a habit, let's say right before the exam only, you have this habit of studying continuously. You tend to study, and after your exams are over, you kind of miss that thing too, right, where you were actually studying. So you enjoy doing more such tasks more often. So it is basically when the receptors of the brain, it keeps releasing the same kind of neurotransmitters again and again, the brain tries to reorganize itself. Now another question, question 15, Alfred Adler personality is largely shaped by what? Alfred Adler, being a new Freudian and also giving a concept of inferiority complex, his, oh my god, ठीक है, all right, just give me a second. So his basically cool. Huh. His theory talks about social interest and feelings of inferiority. Option number B. Moving forward with the next question, question number 16. Which of the following is a characteristic of a random sampling? Now, random sampling is basically, everybody has an equal chance of being selected as the participant from the entire population. So, the samples has non-zero chance, which means everybody has an equal chance. ठीक है, every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. That is the correct answer here. Moving forward, which of the following terms is associated with Henry Murray and TAT, which is the thematic A perception test? Now, Henry Murray has actually given some of the personology also, and he has also given this projective test, which talks about, how there's a protagonist, there's hero, there is needs. So basically, there is a need to achieve under this particular, test, projective test. Apart from this, next question, children's game of peekaboo centers around which of the following developmental concepts? The correct answer here is object permanence. Option number D should be the correct answer. Now, what is object permanence according to Jean Piaget? This particular, milestone is attained at the age of 8 months. And during this particular period, so any infant who is less age of 8 months, less than 8 months, if you show them a ball and then you hide it, so they perceive it as something which has disappeared from the face of earth. So they perceive it that जो ball है वो disappear हो गई है. But जब ऑब्जेक्ट परमानेंस एस्टैब्लिश हो जाता है 8 महीने के बाद, 8 महीने के बच्चों के अंदर, 9 महीने के बच्चों के अंदर, तो दे डू नॉट think of it as something which has disappeared. Now another such question, which personality assessment tool is projective in nature? Now यहाँ पे NeoPI है, 16PF है, MMPI है, Rorschach है. Definitely it's going to be option number D, Rorschach ink blot test. ठीक है, ये projective test है, बाकी सारे हमारे non projective test है. Now another such question, I used to think I wasn't an IPL cricket fan. Then I went to 3 IPL games in last season. Now I think I am an IPL fan. The statement is more consistent with which of the following? See, earlier in the first statement, in the first line itself, they say that, I used to think that I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan. But later on they went on to attend the games, and then they started thinking that, now they have become a fan after watching it. So it is basically somewhere of a cognitive dissonance. The thoughts and the actions somewhere is not similar with each other, and they're also facing a little bit of dissonance here. But apart from this, yeah, cool. I think that is going to be the correct answer. There is a cognitive dissonance that they are facing here. Moving forward, the tendency to attribute one's own feelings and thoughts to external object is known as, this is basically displacement. Option number B. These are very, very direct questions. If you have studied your NCERT, your bachelor's in psychology and master's in psychology very well, आपको सारी definitions याद है, आप बहुत आराम से पेपर जो है वो कर सकते हो, कुछ भी मुश्किल नहीं था. Abraham Maslow's theory of personality emphasizes of the self-actualization, which is the maximum potential which can be unlocked by a person. The hypothesis that the mood disorder is caused by an interaction between a genetic disturbance and a separation from the loved ones is most relevant. Which of the following? So we have a mood disorder which is caused by a genetic disturbance also, and also being separated from the parent or the family. Now this is basically an imbalance, and this is due to the diathesis stress model. In case you don't know, go look it up. Diathesis stress model talks about that there is a vulnerability in a person in case there is any kind of pathological, genetic, or social disruption in their life. Because of that, they can go through multiple any kind of major problem or a disorder in their lives. Moving forward with the next question. If the gene for blue eyes is recessive and if a child has blue eyes, which of the following must be true? तो अगर जीन ब्लू आईज का जीन रिसेसिव है लेकिन बच्चे की ब्लू आईज है, तो इसका मतलब क्या होगा? एटलीस्ट एक पेरेंट जो होगा उसके पास तो ब्लू आईज का जीन होना ही होना चाहिए, है ना, इवन दो इट इज रिसेसिव. तो वन मस्ट हैव समथिंग, राइट? मूविंग फॉरवर्ड. A program to increase self-esteem in elementary school children could be considered to be an example of what? So it's a primary prevention as far as it is concerned. See, they're trying to build up self-esteem, and it's basically, they're not doing something where a harm is done, or they're not trying to build something or bridging a gap. They're actually bridging a gap between the person's self-esteem itself, hiring it and also making it feel better for themselves. So it's a primary prevention. Okay, now moving forward. If reliability is 0.00, which of the following is true? So reliability is actually the consistency of any score, and also the fact reliability directly and indirectly assesses your standard error of measurement. So let's just say if reliability is 0, then standard error of measurement is going to be relatively low, right? Reliability ही नहीं है, एब्सोल्युटली सॉरी, रिलायबिलिटी ही नहीं है, तो आपका जो स्टैंडर्ड एरर ऑफ मेजरमेंट जो होगा दैट इज गोइंग टू बी हाई. क्योंकि क्या होगा, एरर जो है दैट इज कीन टू हैपन, बिकॉज वाई? देयर इज नो रिलायबिलिटी, देयर इज नो कंसिस्टेंसी इन मेजरिंग व्हाट वी आर सपोज टू मेजर. देयरफॉर ऑप्शन नंबर ए शुड बी करेक्ट हियर. Next question. A child with mental age 10.7 and chronological age as 9.5 will have a ratio IQ of what? We put it into the formula. IQ is equals to MA upon CA into 100, and then we put the formulas into the values into the same. 10.7 upon 9.5 into 100, and you get approximately this answer, which is 113. So no matter if you don't have a calculator, you need to still calculate it, and you should come close to the answer. So it does not approximately come close to 113, but it somewhere comes around 112 point something or the other. So you need to come close with the answer. Moving forward with the next question now. In trait theory, introversion is characterized by what? So introversion is more about a reserved and a quiet behavior. I know we all must know this. Question number 29, according to the theories by Thomas Szasz. What is basically correct? So Thomas Szasz, as far as your UGC exams are concerned or any other psychology exams are concerned, he was of the idea that mental illness should be a social and a legal problem, and he also talked about a lot about mental illness. So basically this one such statement resonates highest with this particular contributor. Moving forward, now here this comes a tricky question. A lot of students might face problem with this. Iconic memory refers to what? Now iconic memory has to do with your vision memory. It's about your vision memory, but also the fact, vision is about your sensory memory. So sensory memory and visual memory. So you should select option number C, visual sensory memory. That should be the correct answer here. Then the big 5 personality traits include all of the following except for what? तो big 5 personality trait में आपको ओशन याद रखने का है. अगर ओशन याद है तो बढ़िया है, फिर आप एक्सेप्शन जो भी है वो निकाल लोगे. तो एक्सेप्शन इसमें साइकोटिसिज्म है. वी हैव ओपननेस, वी हैव कंसाइंटियसनेस, एक्स्ट्रावर्जन, अग्रीएबलनेस एंड न्यूरोटिसिज्म. Moving forward, according to Carl Jung, the collective unconscious consists of what? Collective unconscious consists of archetypes which are shared among by all the human beings. Let's just say I talk about the concept of unicorns, mermaids, fairies, or any kind of, or let's just say Leviathan, which a mythology says that exists in the deep of the ocean. So this is shared by everybody. Even if you talk to anyone, they all know that the somewhere or the other, if it exists or no, it is non-existent, it's still shared by everyone, all the humans. Which of the following situations best illustrates a inter-rater reliability? Now when it comes to inter-rater reliability, let's just say there's a test 1 and there is test 2, right? So test 1 and test 2 is actually assessed by two different teachers. We have two different teachers. So a teacher 1 and teacher 2. There are two teachers and both of the teachers give equal marks to the same test. Let's just say test 1 में किसी बच्चे के आ रहे होंगे 50 out of 60. Let's just say test 2 में किसी बच्चे के आ रहे होंगे 30 out of 60. सो द पॉइंट इज, अगर दोनों ही टीचर्स बहुत ही ज्यादा अप्रोक्सीमेट आंसर पे आ जाते हैं, अप्रोक्सीमेट रिजल्ट पे आ जाते हैं, तो इसको हम कहते हैं इंटर रेटर रिलायबिलिटी. द रेटर्स आर एक्चुअली गिविंग अ रिलायबल स्कोर टू हाउएवर हाउ मच द स्कोर इज सपोज टू बी देयर. ठीक है, सो cool. So the correct answer should be option number C. Student gets the same answer on two different IQ tests. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Which of the following best demonstrates predictive validity? Now predictive validity is all about predicting something. An entrance exam score correlating with a GPA at the end of the first year should be your predictive validity. आगे बढ़ेंगे. Inter-rater reliability again is especially important when it is important when subjective judgments are required during assessment. That is the only case. ठीक है, इसके अलावा तो नहीं होगा. अगर बाई चांस ऑब्जेक्टिव टेस्ट है तो उसके अंदर इंटर-रेटर रिलायबिलिटी का ऐसा जितना काम होता नहीं है. आगे बढ़ेंगे. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अप्लाइड साइकोलॉजी? ना अप्लाइड साइकोलॉजी के अंदर आ जाएगा अगर आपको कोई थेरेपी आती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अ क्लिनिशियन यूजेस CBT टू हेल्प client manage anxiety. That should be the correct answer. Moving forward, which of the following statistics is commonly used to calculate inter-rater reliability? The correct answer should be Cronbach's alpha. That should be the correct answer. We also have kappa coefficient here, but most likely inter-rater के अंदर usually Cronbach alpha जो है वो correctly होता है. Who proposed the concept of id, ego and superego? And this is a very easy question. Everybody knows it's Sigmund Freud. Which of one of the following is not one of the Karen Horney's three neurotic trends? See, she has talked about, womb envy. She has talked about basic anxiety, neurotic anxiety, but she's never talked about moving beyond people. That is something that you should know. आगे बढ़ेंगे. Object relations theory is most likely associated with psychoanalysis. It is related to your Freud's concept, right? आगे बढ़ेंगे. The concept of locus of control was introduced by Julian Rotter. Option number B is the correct answer here. We have okay, we'll be moving forward in a minute. Just a second. All right. In another question, we have which one of the following theorists proposes confrontation, avoiding, and seeking social support as the ways people cope with the anxiety? So the correct answer here is going to be your Eric Fromm. That should be the correct answer. आगे बढ़ेंगे. A person high in agreeableness is likely to be what? Agreeable कोई इंसान होता है तो compassionate and cooperative भी होता है. MBTI is based on personality of Carl Jung, actually. Option number C. Moving forward, in developmental psychology, out of sight and out of mind has to do with the lack of object permanence. ठीक है. According to Freud, which part of the personality operates on the reality principle? Reality principle पे operate करता है हमारा ego. Option number B, because it works on your logic and reasoning. So whatever is happening right now, it operates on the same. Moving forward with the next question, we have, which of the following is an example of delusion? Delusion is basically something that you are denying, or you are deluding yourself that is actually you feel like it is present but certainly it's not present. तो कोई भी चीज जो आपको लगता है is not present, you are living in a denial or delusion. So let's just say, if you know, feeling convinced that one's neighbors are plotting to take over the world, that should be the correct answer here. That is one delusion a person is facing. Or feeling pain in one's back even though there is no physical or medical injury cause, ठीक है, that would be more of a hallucination, not like delusion. ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ेंगे. When psychology first emerged as a separate discipline, it was distinguished from the philosophy primarily on the basis of empirical data. Option number C should be the correct answer. अब psychology actually empirical data को ज़्यादा support करती है rather than philosophy. Philosophy जो है वो fundamental और truth जो है उसके बारे में ज़्यादा बात करती है. तो that is the correct answer here. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ेंगे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन के साथ. सो वी हैव व्हाट, अकॉर्डिंग टू बिहेवियरल थियोरीज पर्सनालिटी इज शेप्ड बाय. बिहेवियरल थियोरी बात करेगा कि जितनी भी पर्सनालिटी है वो लर्नड एक्सपीरियंस या रीइंफोर्समेंट से आती है. आगे बढ़ेंगे. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज हैज अ नॉन ऑर्गेनिक बेस. ऑर्गेनिक बेस इज बेसिकली समथिंग विच इज टोटली प्योर एंड विच कम्स फ्रॉम बॉडीली issues. So we have somatoform disorder, we have dissociative, we have depersonalization, we have dementia. Correct answer should be option number D, dementia. So dementia happens everything organically. It does not happen because of an external concussion or any kind of injury. It happens because there is a certain kind of problem happening inside of your brain. So it's one such kind of a neurodegenerative disorder. Therefore it has an organic base. Now these were all the 50 by 50 MCQs, but you should not skip here. Let's just hop on to another one such question which was also asked in this particular examination, and if there is one, let me just talk to you about that. So there was a question which was a long type question where they had asked you about what is counseling and what is the importance of counseling and what is confidentiality also. And they had also given you an an example where they say that, you know, if there is any kind of scenario where you may breach confidentiality, then what you must do, illustrate using an example. So this was a 10 marker question that you were supposed to be doing. Okay? And under this, it was very easy. So I'm sure a lot of students are already done their bachelor's and their master's. They're able to answer this out of their experience and the theoretical knowledge also, the definition of counseling and confidentiality. And also if there is any point, let's just say if you're not able to understand it or grasp it, at times you can also make some scenarios in the head and just come to the ethics, come close to the ethics, where you get to understand ki, okay, this can be done. So you cannot breach confidentiality because again it's a sensitive information, and even if it's done, then it must be because if there is a criminal proceeding involved or any kind of forensic details which are supposed to be gone, if there is a medical intervention that is supposed to be taken care of. Let's just say any person is going through a major terminal disease where there are hallucinations also, so a psychologist and a doctor is supposed to be involved. So this is a point where a person's confidentiality is breached. So this was it for basically the exam, and that's it from my side. I hope that you must have done it really well, and I hope and I wish you all the very best for the future upcoming budding psychologists who are going to be appearing for this exam. I'll see you very soon in the next session. If you did like the video, make sure that you do give it a good thumbs up and also drop down your comments below so that I get to have a little I feel better about myself. Anyway, see you soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.